display and backdrop ideas for your wedding cake.
Hi, welcome back to Bride Society. I'm Rebecca, this is Laura, and we are talking cake displays. So we have done videos for your sort of ceremony backdrop ideas, for your wedding photos, nice backdrops. And we have mentioned this video is coming in, I think, all of these videos, as well as even maybe our cake trends video. Yeah. So there's been lots of related videos, all of which we'll actually link in the description box below if you're interested in those. But yes, this video is finally here. So displays for your wedding cake, because your cake deserves to be the center of attention. It is an event. You've got that cake cutting moment, potentially anyway, on your wedding day. So it's really like pimping up that whole bit. And there's a surprising number of ways to do it.
So we're going to show you some photos for inspiration, and we'll link the Pinterest board where these images came from with some more inspiration on there as well in the description box, so you can go and check that out after you've watched the video, in case you see something that you think, yes, that's how I want my wedding cake to be displayed. You can go and see how it's done.
Yeah, pin it to your own wedding board. But
yeah, it's always quite disappointing to go to a wedding and the wedding cake is just plonked on the table, not even a cake stand, just there. I mean, having cake is great, winning points for that, but yes, you need...
She does make wedding cakes as a business. Just add that in.
But yeah,
she's not at all biased.
Not at all. But yes, there are so many things you can do, just simple things to really elevate it, or you can then go all out and make a real spectacle of your wedding cake as well. And something that's been really popular in the last couple of years are these like cake hoop stands. So they can be decorated in a myriad of ways to match the, like maybe the florals of your wedding. If you're having dried flowers, you can do like pampas grass. If you're having fresh flowers or faux flowers, but colourful ones, like these ones we're showing on the screen now. So where the cake kind of sits within this hoop, it sits on the table still, but it just frames the cake really.
And those, whilst they can be a full hoop, they can also be sort of like a partial hoop, so like a mini moon gate thing going on. And celestial has been quite a big popular theme trend like in the last couple of years, and this would really incorporate well into that, but even if you weren't doing the celestial thing.
Another way you could go is kind of a hoop, but the other way around the cake, so around the circumference of your cake. And these, in the last year, they've really grown in popularity, where you have basically mini vases all the way around the bottom tier of your cake with lots of fresh flowers in. And again, it just really highlights the cake. It makes a statement of the cake. It means your cake can actually be quite simple. It doesn't need a lot of decoration on the cake itself, because you're providing that decoration with the stand that you're putting around it. Or the other way of doing this is they're called cake meadows. So again, surrounding the cake, but it's more of an arrangement that your florist might create that kind of either sits under the cake or around the cake, and then maybe on the floor again around whatever piece of furniture that you're displaying the cake on, just to tie it all together.
Yeah, and to give your florist even more of a headache and hard work, you can create almost sort of structural pieces around it. So I know we talked about like the hoops and things, which you can just kind of buy as is. I think places like Hobbycraft have been doing them and things, but you can do it with sort of, I guess, almost like scaffolding pieces, but where there's a statement floral installation, perhaps like above the cake, or framing it much more. But yes, this is kind of not just, we're not talking just a few flowers. This is like a big statement. It's an installation basically above it, so it's really drawing the eye. It's very much a focal point, and what's great about that is that it's potentially like at such kind of a level where you've got the cake, there's that, but then when you're sort of stood in front of it for that cake moment, it is a backdrop for you as well, so you're not really like blocking it, you know, there's different things where there's obviously lots of display ideas which might be behind it, but that cake moment you might lose some of it by you and your partner being stood in front of it. But this will kind of really frame the whole photo.
And if you are going with something like a large installation structure kind of above, behind the cake, it also then gives you options with what to display the cake on. And this is where a cake swing could be an idea. So rather than having it on a piece of furniture that's on the ground, you've got a swing that you would need to make sure was very secure, because wedding cakes
sounds so risky,
heavy.
doesn't it?
Maybe get some expert advice on this, because cakes are heavier than you think a lot of the time. And yes, so it's hanging from this structure that you've potentially got lots of flowers on, and then you can be all the way around the cake. You're not limited by where to stand next to it, because it's literally kind of hanging there for you, ready to cut. Yeah. And just be careful, no one's like pushing it back and forth,
yeah. Maybe if there are kids at your wedding, this is not the choice. Yes, so also it's these like sailboards are an option. They're great for sort of a general kind of photo moment. It could be something that's moved around your venue. We have something similar to this in our photo backdrop video, where there are these like sort of sailboards that potentially got you and your partner's name on it, or your like married name, or even like a neon light on it, you know, saying something cute. Which is it could be moved around if you're kind of looking for a cost-effective way of doing this. So maybe as your guests have arrived, it's there for kind of the photo moments as guests come in, and then once kind of everyone's in the venue, maybe somebody's then relocating that to behind the cake, because that moment kind of comes a little bit later on, but long enough for people to kind of enjoy it, for them to take pictures of the cake, and then ready for when that cake cutting then.
And the great thing about those is they're so easily customizable in terms of the colour.
Yeah.
So you might be renting them from someone potentially, but they'll probably offer a service where they can paint them the colours of your wedding, or if you're very into DIY, you can obviously make some yourself. And just get the colours, get some paint sample pots and paint them to match however else you're decorating the wedding.
Yeah, so your cake really can be incorporated into the sort of theme, feel, design, look of your wedding. And so obviously there's the painting side for the sailboards, but if you're having maybe like a rustic or boho type wedding, maybe you've got sort of like an antique dresser type thing, and you want to put your cake on that, and with the sort of more ornate like side plates that your grandmother might have had stacked up next to it, so it's a bit of a sort of a cake station. But yeah, you've got the whole like dresser thing, so it's kind of the cake stand in that. But yes, but it's very on theme, like it makes, you know, so it's finding something that makes sense within your wedding and your wedding theme.
And if you really wanted to turn your cake into a work of art, you could actually get a literal frame, a ginormous frame to put behind, either on the wall or leaning up against something, so your cake is framed, or hanging, like an artwork, ready to be enjoyed for the evening.
I mean, obviously, like when it comes to like cake stands, there's a whole myriad of things beyond like just the circular one that we all think of. Which we're not really touching today, because we're thinking more kind of display ideas, and obviously stands kind of part of that. But yes, but if you want ideas for those, ask in the comments below if you want to see a video on that. Happy to give some thought to that too. But yeah, we hope you found some inspiration in there. Let us know what idea you're leaning towards, because we're nosy and we want to know. Tag us in your photos over on Instagram as well, because as I say, we love to see what you choose. So we hope you liked the video. If you did, if you could hit that thumbs up button, and of course don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss more content like this, and potentially that cake stands video.